I like music and I like musical instruments. I didn't have a piano, although we briefly had a piano in my house. I liked playing that, and in school they kind of assigned me the clarinet because my brother had a clarinet and he'd previously gone to the same school. And I just wasn't into it, you know, playing the third or second note of a chord, and the only time you could hear the chord is when everybody was together in the school band. And, I mean, it was okay, but it was not my idea of musical fulfillment. And my brother actually got a guitar and started taking lessons, and my brother's a real smart guy, and he could learn anything instantly. And he did, and kind of got bored with it, and then I said, hey, you know, I'd like to try that, and before I knew it, that was my thing. And so we rented the guitar for about a year, and it was acoustic, a Gibson acoustic guitar, and got to the point where I had mowed enough people's lawns to have a Fender single pickup guitar called a Music Master. I remember wanting to do first recognizable tune was probably if I didn't play it that way. Something like that. Actually, probably sounded like this when I did. I don't know. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. And then after that, my big accomplishment was going. Beach Boys. Discovering this little boogie woogie or power chord thing or surfing thing, whatever it was that sort of unlocked the universe. I said, I get it now. Constructing solo, normally, I like to have them build up, and they often arrive at a higher pitch at the end of the solo than at the beginning of the solo, maybe at a higher density. But by and large, the main thing is melody, a sense of balance. Try to have some phrasing. Every 2 bars, if you can just put a little breath of some kind in, that's a great start to help with your phrasing. Like. The band's been through a lot of different versions over the years, and these, you know, here we were. 4 out of 5 of them were from the Smoke in the Water days, but they kept being in the band because they were really right for it. To my surprise, it was working out really well. And I was luckily in a position where I didn't have to do anything, you know. I was making a living doing my own thing. And, you know, as much as I wanted to, I could do solo shows or go back to, you know, doing classical guitar gigs or whatever. There was a lot of possibilities. But suddenly this just seemed like actually a great opportunity to have fun playing. And that's something that I sort of, I haven't been having as much of sometimes. You know, when I do these classical guitar gigs, it's like such an intense thing. The sound's perfect. Any breath that's wrong, you know, is obvious to the whole seated theater full of people. And I don't know, it's really joyful and relaxing and fun to play with Deep Purple. Often when I'm playing in a group, like with Purple, when I'm playing a song, sometimes when the vocals come back in, say in a song like One from Tokyo, turn down the treble by rolling off the high end using the tone control. And that gives some space for the vocals to be heard without the guitar just going away. So the guitar is adding a impact. It's kind of a then when I roll back, when I bring back the high end by rolling the tone control forward, it uses up a lot more space in the mix, but if it's at the right point, then the sound man won't mind. But if you use up a lot of space in the mix all the time, the sound man's just going to go, whoa, and you're gone, you're history. I play my best about 10 hours from now at night. I always work at my music at night. And I like to live a normal life during the day and then go in the studio or practice room at night. And then, especially when I'm home, my family's asleep, there's no more phone calls. It's uninterrupted hours of no words being spoken, and it's all just thoughts and musical ideas. And that's a magic time. First of all, play stuff you love, because we've got enough, even today, where hardly anybody takes the time to learn an instrument. There's still enough people playing stuff that they think other people want to hear. Play what you want to hear in your heart. We need people in the world that are expressing themselves, expressing their soul. That's what the audience actually wants to hear. Keep your expenses down, pay for your equipment, and learn to love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or Vegemite sandwiches. The reason people come to the guitar still, and especially live, there's nuances. There's difference in the way you play. The way you play this note sounds different from this note. If I use my pick, it's different than when I use my fingers. Then there's the vibrato, bending tune. Just all the millions of ways you can express yourself with different the impact of the notes, the tone of the notes, the vibrato, the shape, and the fact that people can see it. Whereas if they're watching a keyboard player, often what they'll see is a big, imposing thing, and see a guy's head going like this, and know that somewhere behind all that, there's fingers moving. And it's just not as visual, or doesn't draw you in as much. So guitar or any string instrument, it's easy to see how the sound is being generated, and it's nice to associate the movement with the sound. People like that. People are curious. They like to watch and see how it's done. So it's perfect. Well, it was a conscious decision for me to start picking every note. I discovered that the Hendrixy kind of approach, the really blues-based approach of playing the guitar, would work for guitar riffs. But as I was trying to learn some Bach piece, just when I was trying to teach myself to learn to read music on the guitar, I realized, hey, some of this stuff just things like that, just they're not hammer-on friendly. You have to find where the note is and pick it, and it doesn't always arrange itself easily. So I thought it would be better to learn to pick every note and be able to do it to the extent that I didn't think about it or didn't care where the pick ended up. And so my first exercise was just doing 4 notes to a string. Now, that's entirely too symmetrical of an exercise to do much good, but it at least got me started with building the strength. And a better variation of that is 3 notes to a string. One of the reasons it's better is your pick keeps changing directions from down, up, down. Next string is up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So you get practice making the uncomfortable changes. Another thing I discovered is that my picking, since I'd spent a lot of my life going, everything being a downstroke, well, guess what needs more work? The upstroke. So it's good for guitarists just to practice picking everything up. You just sit around and play like that for a while, So improve your upstroke and practice slowly so you can hit every note, so you can pick every note. A lot of people forget that. I'd say that's probably the number one thing that I notice that stands out is guitarists have a problem understanding when they're making a mistake. They don't even hear it. The speed that's not accurate that doesn't count. I mean, okay, if you're at a gig and you just can't quite make the part and you give it your best shot, well, that's okay. That's a moment in history. It's gone. But when you practice, it should be different. It should be get every note perfect. Then slowly move up the speed once you've got to the point where you can do it effortlessly.